So, good evening, YouTube. Hope everyone's having a wonderful weekend. It's obviously nearly Monday now. Another few weeks of lockdown to come. So we're going to do this all over again for the next few weeks and see where we're at. Now, obviously, there was a report out. Sorry about the. It's like I'm on a ship. But yeah, it's a bit of an unstable platform, so apologies for that. But there was a report that I read the other day that suggests that football could come back on the 8th of June. 92 games are remaining in the Premier League, and that they were looking to try and get them done in a 5-week period. So 92 games in 35 days is going to be relentless. But I'm not too sure how they're going to do that, if I'm being honest. What is quite clear is that they do want to get the Premier League back. And I see something this morning that says that not a single team in the Premier League has actually stepped forward and voted to come out and cancel the season. Now, I don't know whether that's true or not, so I'm sure West Ham were having something to say about that they just wanted it scrapped and so on and so forth. But that then asks the question, where does this lead with transfer windows? Obviously, we know the transfer window can be moved around per country. UEFA and FIFA have come out and said that they can basically do what they want within reason, individually in each country, and then obviously the start of the seasons be altered therefore afterwards. And it's all a bit of a mad one, isn't it? I mean, we've never gone through anything like this before, but it's been boring without football, man. It has been proper boring. But anyway, I'd love to know your thoughts on that. I should have done a whole video about that, but there we go. I'd love to know your thoughts on that. Do you think the Premier League is going to come back? I change my mind every day. Some days I think it's coming back. Some days I don't think it's coming back this season. But let's speak about Alexandre Lacazette. Alexandre Lacazette, and he has gone from player of the season to flop of the season for me. I think he's been rubbish. I think he's been really poor, and he's gone a whole year without scoring an away goal. He obviously went, I think it was just over a year, 1 year, 2 days, something like that, without scoring an away goal. His performances this season have been nowhere near last. His goals ratio is just ridiculous. 7 goals in 27 games or 28 games. Something stupid. It's a poor strike rate. He has chipped in with some assists, but it's quite clear to me that he doesn't want to be here. I've looked at his body language. I've looked at his whole attitude on the pitch. He was the one last season that was trying to rally the troops. When he was getting subbed, he was trying to G up the crowd, and like when the crowd were getting the ump with it. There was a lot of times he was substituted. I remember Ramsey coming on in a game, and it was funny because I think Ramsey scored the goal that sealed the game in the end. But you know, the fans at the Emirates were jeering at the substitution under Emery, and he was the guy that was going, "Nah, come on, don't worry about it," and running off the pitch, high-fiving everyone. Let's get on with it. This season, he's gone the complete other way. His head's down. He don't look like he's interested. He's not running around like he used to. He don't hold the ball up like he used to. And there's something clearly quite wrong with the geezer. Maybe Premier League players have sussed him out a little bit more compared to last season. I'm not so sure about that, though. Maybe he don't want to be here. Maybe it's the off-field activities that were reported, and that's been weighing him down. Listen, mate, he was putting a little bit of that into a couple of females apparently. So plenty of time for pum pum. Not so much time for scoring goals, though, is there, Laka? But for me, I think it's time to get rid. He's linked with Atletico Madrid. He's been linked with them since before he even came to Arsenal. He was that close to signing for Real Madrid, and then they got transfer banned. So did he really want to come to us? I'm not so sure about that. I don't think he did. Has he been a decent player for Arsenal? I'd say yes. Has he been a great player? Nope. He's been all right, isn't he? He's been all right. If you was to assess him out of 10, I'd give him a 7. Leave your scores down below. I'd love to know your thoughts on that. I'd give him a 7 out of 10 because last season I thought he was decent. The first season he was here, he was all right. Last season he was pretty damn decent, and this season he's just been embarrassing at times, tripping over the ball and so on and so forth. But but yeah, he's gonna leave, I think, and I do think it will be this summer. And listen, I want to know what Arsenal have got lined up, because we're looking at it and we've got Lacazette probably going to leave. We've got Aubameyang, in my opinion, he's nailed on, he's going to leave. And then we're linked to all sorts of different players, like striker-wise, from the young up-and-coming players, like the guy at Celtic, Eduard, all the way through to the video I did earlier on today, Rodrigo Moreno from Valencia, who's 29 years old. I'm not so sure about any of these, if I'm honest. I want a proven top draw striker. If we're going to get rid of both of them, then we need one at least. Then we can throw Martinelli in. Yeah, so maybe replace one and then go and replace somewhere else. Now that leads me on to Thomas Partey. He is obviously at Atletico Madrid. We've got an offer on the table for his buyout clause, which is 33.5 million. It's somebody that I want at the club. It's somebody that I think pretty much all of the Arsenal fans that come on here in the chat that I see on social media, I think pretty much every Arsenal fan wants Thomas Partey at the club. I haven't seen a single one say they don't. Now, how much is Lacazette worth? Because that's something that we need to find out as well. I mean, we basically paid about 50 million quid for him, there or thereabouts. We've had him for a couple of seasons now. He's got 2 years left come the summer. If we was to get 43.5 million, the Thomas Partey money, there's a swap deal available. Apparently, Arsenal were trying to angle a swap deal as opposed to just paying the 43.5 million. Now, obviously, Atletico Madrid was the club Laka was going to go to. Thomas Partey's at Atletico. I think that just do the swap. Don't worry about the finer details of, oh, well, we made £1 million or you've lost £1 million. Who cares? You want Lacazette. We want Thomas Partey. Straight swap. Yeah, Thomas Partey will be on less wages than Lacazette. Thomas Partey is a player that we need. It's somebody in midfield that we've needed for a long, long time. Somebody that's got legs, somebody that can get up and down the pitch, somebody that can bully midfielders, dominate a midfield, do his defensive duties, somebody that can get in and around the box, can get assists, can get in goals. I think he's superb. And I think that if that is an option, which it's being reported today, there is an option for Arsenal to potentially be looking at a swap deal, then get it done. Get it done as soon as we possibly can, because that is a big signing for us, Thomas Partey. Are we going to miss Lacazette? Probably not. I think that the lack of goals that he's scored, and if you look at his total goals since he's been at Arsenal, he's not been prolific. It's less than Giroud. The guy averages less than Giroud a season. People are saying, oh, but it's his hold-up play, it's his build-up. It's not. Listen, the guy used to run around and try and hustle and bustle. He doesn't do that anymore. I'm not prepared to go again next season with him up front. I think that we need to go, do you know what? Enough of these big names that are fan favourites. Let's go for the greater good and the greater cause of this football club. The greater good and cause of this football club is to build a proper squad, not a couple of big names in the squad that are on big money that don't really cut the mustard. I don't need to name the other ones. Hopefully we're bidding them this summer as well. But Lacazette, Thomas Partey swap, I'm all for that. Let me know your thoughts on it. I can't imagine any of you are going to be against it. But like I said, where does this leave Lacazette? Where does this leave Aubameyang? Because if we get rid of Lacazette and then we get rid of Aubameyang, then we need a striker. I'm not too fussed if we get rid of both. Yes, I'll be gutted if Aubameyang leaves, but at the end of the day, he's got a year left on his contract. You've got to make that decision this summer, and can't allow him to go into the last year still umming and ahhing. So if we get rid of both, promote Martinelli up to first team every week, and then get another one. But listen, we're going to be linked with loads of strikers the longer this goes on. I'll be back at 9 o'clock, so keep your eyes peeled for that. I am going to speak about some of the striker options. I'm going to speak about Laka and Aubameyang again, and some of the potential options and some that we've been linked to, etc., etc. Stick a thumbs up on the video, subscribe if you're new. I'm out of here. Laters, peeps.